Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Camera 64 podcast. And I am your host, Alfonso Chavez. And as always, I am coming to you here from sunny San Antonio, Texas, from here in my garage. And today on the show, guys, I want to talk about the last event that I did. It was a quinceanera, and it happens to be that young lady, Imani, is the daughter of a good friend of mine from high school. We were actually on student council together here in San Antonio at Burbank High School. And the reason I want to talk about it was because it was quite an interesting journey for the family. Every quinceañera is different. Every situation that we find ourselves in, not only as a photographer myself, but also for the family, is completely different. And you never know exactly how this is going to go. So I want to share a little bit about this. And me and her have actually talked about it. And we're actually considering maybe doing something a little bit more, talking about the series of events, because there were a lot of events that went down not only before the event, the day of the event, and actually during the event. Believe it or not, it's quite incredible. But despite it all, my friend is kind of very close to the way I handle life, right? And the way we handle life is basically we fall down, we get back up, and we keep moving forward. That's what life is all about, as well as photography too, right? It's kind of the secret to life. If you fall down, you simply get back up. So she had been planning this quinceañera for literally 2.5, maybe 3 years ago is when she first called me and started making payments. Because that's the way that most of my clients pay me. They make payment plans over, a year's time or sometimes 2 years. So that's how we all got started. We did her pre-session a couple months out, as always. There was nothing wrong with that portion of it. But the week before, her mother had an accident, right? So I'm not talking about the quinceañera. I'm talking about my friend's mother was in a car accident the week before. So that left them without a car. So they were down a car. That was the first thing that happened. So I'm going to shorten this up so it doesn't go too long. But then a week later, after some more planning and moving on, they realized that they were not going to be able to get by with just having one car. So they went ahead and rented a second car, another car in place of the vehicle that, was in the accident, was being fixed. That was the first thing. Then after that, the girls were supposed to be getting together the day before or 2 days before the actual quinceañera. So she had all her girlfriends set up to meet at the venue in order for them to practice and go over the final rehearsals of the dance. Well, the niece, I'm thinking it was her niece or her nephew, was the one that was responsible for running around and picking up a lot of the girls that were going to be there for the practice rehearsal. Well, she had a blowout, okay? So unfortunately, the very last opportunity that they had to practice for the quinceañera got rudely interrupted because they were not able to make it due to a blowout, which also led to some other mechanical errors or mechanical issues. So needless to say, they're down 2 cars, and once again, they had to figure out a solution. Luckily, they did have a backup car, so they got through that situation. Now, you would think that at this point, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, the day of the quinceañera arrives, and they get off to a fairly good start. Everybody shows up on time. Everybody is able to get ready for the most part. And unfortunately, on the way out of the building to get onto the limousine, which was going to take the girls from the venue to the church in order to get the church portion done, get the blessing and all the rest that's involved with that. My poor friend, she took a spill. She took a slip. She stepped down from some steps, missed the step, and her feet just slid out from under her. And she ended up falling dead back on her back, hitting the back of her head. hard enough for her to have a really nice, like we say in Spanish, chupon right back atrás. She had a very nice big bump on the back of her head. But yet, despite all of that, she simply said, hey, give me 2 aspirins and I will go ahead and we'll just pretend like that never took place. So she takes the 2 aspirins, she jumps in the car, gets all the girls loaded up into the limo, and off we go to downtown. We get to River Center Mall, which is a really popular place for quinceañera girls to show up at, because as you know, Texas heat, it could be absolutely ridiculous in the summertime. July and August are the 2 hottest months where we can sometimes get to 105 degrees outside. So the last place you want to be is outside. Now, my friend wanted pictures at the Riverwalk because there's a really nice staircase that sits right at the edge of the Riverwalk. So I literally had the quinceañera girls and couples along with the quinceañera herself climb up, and we actually lined them up down the stairs. They were in direct sunlight. We took the shot and immediately got out of there. So we did that shot and we did one other one in the shade. And while we were walking around the mall, I just would catch, as the young ladies would pass me, I'd catch a shot or 2. So we ended up getting to the hall, and again, we get off to a great start, and we're like, wow, this is, despite everything that has happened so far, that we're getting off to a fantastic start here. You know, everything was going great. Presentation was good. Father and daughter danced, mother and daughter danced. Presentation of the gifts and everything went without a hitch. They served the cake, and then toast time comes up. And in case you don't know, they do a toast for not only in celebration of the quinceañera, but the toast is directed more towards everybody who was a sponsor or people that donated, because quinceañeras oftentimes are only made possible by donations from family members and friends. So the toast is the time where you give grace and you give thanks to everybody that was helped along in the process some way or another. Sometimes it's financially, sometimes it was actually them being there physically to provide a service or provide some help in some way. So that time comes up. Again, everything's gone smooth up until this point, and it's about maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30 more or less, which is normal time for this particular portion of the event to go down. And CPS shows up. And in case you don't know who CPS is, City Public Service, which runs the electricity for the entire San Antonio and surrounding areas. Well, earlier that day, CPS was having some sort of electrical issues, and that happened earlier in the day, and they had crews going around the neighborhood, which nobody knew. We weren't aware. Not even the venue themselves were aware of what was going on. So CPS shows up and says, hey guys, I hate to let you guys know this. I know y'all are having a party. Y'all got tons of guests, but we have to turn off the electricity in order to reset the circuits within the buildings that you're currently in. And this is something that's state mandated, right? We cannot, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This has to be done for a certain amount of time. I believe it was 15 minutes or so, and it has to be done right now. We can't wait. So what do? I just told you earlier, right? Texas heat is insane at these 2 months. So we asked, my friend had to basically not ask people to step outside, but basically give the order that we have to evacuate everybody outside. We'll do the toast outside, and then we'll have to hang out for a little bit. Now, keep in mind, it's 8:30 at night, and it's still outside, probably, I would say 85 to 90 degrees still outside, right? So you can imagine how difficult this is, because this is a quinceañera, and this is a little bit out of the ordinary, but this was a formal quinceañera, which basically meant that I would say probably 80% of all the gentlemen there were in, suits and ties and in nice outfits, and the women were in beautiful gowns and dresses. And we had to step outside into the Texas heat at 8:30 at night. It's still probably 85 to 90 degrees outside. So we're outside sweating. We got through the toast, right? We got our pictures of the toast and everything. And it was a great opportunity for me personally because I was able to get one big shot of all the family together, which I personally enjoyed that. It was better than being in the hall. But yeah, we got through it, right? She did the toast. And fortunately for us, they were able to get that reset done in probably about 5 or 6 minutes. So in the amount of time that the toast was done, we had to wait maybe another couple of minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, before we were allowed to go back in, and the party or fiesta was able to keep moving forward, and we got through it, right? And the reason I like to talk about, or I'm going to talk more about the quinceañeras, because at this point, 20 years of doing weddings and quinceañeras, I have seen it all, guys. I mean, from the very worst of things that can possibly happen to the very best of things, where things go perfectly. It's hard to imagine that a quinceañera would go absolutely perfect, but there have been some of those. There have been dress malfunctions. There have been food being served at 9 o'clock at night. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I can remember when the girl was supposed to be at the church at 10:30. I'm sorry, the girl was supposed to be at the church at 2 o'clock, and we were at the venue waiting for the dress to show up because it was getting last minute alterations. We ended up leaving the hall. Poor girl left the hall with no quinceañera dress to be seen. She went from the hall to the church, and with only literally 3 minutes, the dress shows up. So she throws the dress on literally and walks straight into church at that point. So those are just some of the things that have happened. I literally could write a whole book, and maybe I might have to do that at some point. I've got a lot of extra time on my hands here of late. I know it's something personal, but I've kind of been without work for going on 4 months now, and it's been making my life a little bit difficult financially. But the good thing is that I've been able to book a couple of quinceañeras and weddings, and fortunately August is going to be a good month for us. We have quite a few events scheduled, so that's going to help me through August. And I'm still looking for work, right? What else can I do? I just got to keep trying. I'm at that age now where I'm going to hit 55 this year. And maybe that's starting to affect my ability to be hired. I mean, I've applied and applied and applied. I've never applied this much in my life and never gone this much time without being able to find like a regular job. So this is all new territory. But in the meantime, I've got all this time and I'm going to put it to use, right? I need to get on the ball here and stop making excuses. I think that the world is ready, and I think I'm ready too at this point to be able to create videos maybe once a day or maybe twice a day. Who knows? We'll see. But this is the first one. I just wanted to share this quinceañera. So if you're having a quinceañera coming up and you feel a little stressed, just know that you're not the only one. You're not the first person that's ever been under that much stress. You definitely won't be the last one. And if things don't go perfect, just because they don't go perfect doesn't necessarily mean that the day's going to go horrible. My friend, she made that very clear, right? With a story like that. I mean, gosh, if only one of or two of those things happened to you, you'd be miles ahead of what happened for poor Imani in her quinceañera. But I told my friend, I said, you know what? The more things that happen, the more memorable the event is. And ultimately, as a quinceañera, I mainly do quinceañeras. That's what we do. That's what we're known for. As a quinceañera person, that's really what it's all about. It's just having a memory that the girls are going to have, to know that everybody was there for them, So all these little accidents and incidents just add to the story. They add to the lure of the actual quinceañera. She will never forget this quinceañera. I know I will never forget it. I'm sure nobody in her family will ever forget it. Her grandmother, her cousin, and anybody else who was a part of this and got to see everything that I just told you about, right? Because somebody was there. So that's a great thing. But that's been my show for today. And also, guys, just a quick note too. I know this is a photography channel, but just because you have older gear, guys. Now this, I shot my friend's event with a much older camera. This is an EOS 1D Mark IV. And I just want you guys to know that just because you have an older camera doesn't mean that it is outdated, guys. A pro camera like this is still a pro camera, even though this camera is nearly probably around 15 to 16 years old, somewhere around that age. It's only 16 megapixels. And the church area was very dark, extremely dark to be quite honest. And I was still able to make that work. Not only was it really dark, but the church did not allow us to use flash at all. But that's been my story for today. I just wanted you to know, guys, that even though you may not have the newest camera, if you have any camera basically since, I would imagine, let's put the date around 2005, anything that's newer than 2005, you can make it work, guys. You too can be a great photographer without having to buy a new camera. But that's been my show for today, guys. If you like this channel at all, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down. But if you do, make sure that you let me know, hey, Al, this is why I hated your video, right? It's because of fill in the blank. But that's been my show, and I've been your host. My name is Alfonso Chavez, and as always, we're coming to you from right here in the garage at my workstation. Till next time, guys, you take care, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.